There's hardly a moment Dave Kabrensky is without a paintbrush, pen, or musical instrument.
So I'm an artist, a musician, a writer, a flute maker.
A man of many talents whose work is heavily influenced by his travels to West Africa.
My first trip there to Ghana, I absolutely felt a very, very deep connection.
That first trip, 20 years ago, he's been back and forth for months at a time ever since.
My love of music took me to West Africa.
Dave had been studying West African drumming.
The traditional Mandinka drums include the 3 bass drums, the dunumba, the sangba, the kenkini.
And West Africa's best-known instrument, the djembe.
So you get the bass, the tone, and the slap.
A wide-eyed 20-something soaked up the music, traditions, and customs during that first trip to Ghana.
This was like the real thing, you know, to really see it at its roots.
Dave would return the following year, this time to Guinea, a rare opportunity to study under the world-renowned Grand Master of the djembe, Famadou Konate. In exchange, Famadou needed Dave's help, introduce Westerners to West African culture, and show young people of the region the importance of their own culture.
They don't share this culture if they don't teach it and get the younger generations involved and interested, then it will just go away. It really only takes a generation or two for something like that to happen.
Suddenly, Dave's apprenticeship became about more than just music.
There was something deeper that was driving me, some desire to really understand the differences in our cultures, and certainly to understand where we are in the world today with the challenges that we have.
As his mind pondered the profound, his hands turned to other instruments, mesmerized by the enchanting sounds of the tambin, a 3-holed wooden fula flute.
I was sitting on the banks of the Niger River and I heard somebody playing it from across the way, and it was just this really incredible experience, and I was just sort of like, what is that?
The fula flute is notoriously hard to play because of the overblowing required to hit the upper registers. Dave once again learned from a master, Lansana Conde.
So I, pulled out my flute and just played my one little song that I knew, and he kind of nodded and he said, okay, and he pulled out his flute and then just, proceeded to completely floor everybody who was there, because it was just impossible to not recognize that we were in the presence of a master, of a prodigy.
Despite language barriers, the two became fast friends. Dave studied with Lansana on and off for a decade, playing the flute and learning how to make the wooden instrument. But life in Guinea was becoming increasingly dangerous. In 2007, numerous coup attempts led to widespread violence. We
had to, during that time, stay hidden in the houses. There was gunfire out throughout the neighborhood. There was one morning that we woke up and there was a bullet in the mattress that had come through the roof.
All flights out of the country were canceled, the airport under siege. Dave was rescued by a U.S. Air Force cargo jet.
We had to make this sort of daring escape across the city because there was a strict curfew. You weren't supposed to be out. There was a nationwide strike going on, so there was danger from both sides. So we had to find our way through alleyways and gutters and people's backyards through Conakry.
He made it home safely to New Hampshire and didn't return to West Africa for 3 years. At home, when not giving music lessons or playing gigs, Dave is working out of his studio in North Conway, making flutes and recording his first solo album, Afro Flute. He's also adding to his portfolio of portraits.
I've always just been fascinated by people, by what you can capture in someone's expression and the story that you can tell by putting that person in their setting, in their activity.
This drawing holds special significance. It's of his dear friend Lansini, who died last year at the age of 52. The two had formed a company together making and selling flutes, in part to help support Lansini and his family, who are among Guinea's impoverished.
It was very easy here for me to find people who were interested in these beautiful handcrafted flutes that this master musician and flute maker had made, and even to sell them for $100 or $150 and send that money back to him was just a game changer for him.
Dave plans to continue sending part of the proceeds back to Lansini's family.
I kind of feel, my own obligation to honor Lansini and his culture, that as long as I'm making flutes and doing things with the music that he taught me, that I will continue to try to help his family, even though he's no longer here.
Dave captured his experiences in 3 books, from Indiana Jones type adventures to portraits of a people, to his latest, a personal journal battling a debilitating illness and finding healing in West Africa.
Between the friendships that I made there and the music that I was learning there, and the healing that happened while I was there, I really was a different person by the end of this decade and a half. And some of the adventures that I had there it was just too much not to tell.